Sometimes the gun world surprises us, because every time we think certain classics are gone for good, they suddenly come roaring back with modern upgrades and a whole new wave of fans. What's going on, crew? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about firearms that simply refuse to fade away. These are the legends that were discontinued, forgotten, or stuck behind crazy price tags until manufacturers decided to breathe life back into them. Before we get started, take a quick second to tap that subscribe button and ring the little bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. It really helps the channel grow and lets me keep bringing you the kind of content you come here for. So thank you in advance. Now settle in and let's get straight into the lineup of guns that rose from the dead and step back into the spotlight. The Colt Python returns with a presence that feels almost surreal, not just because of its legendary status, but because Colt managed to modernize it without losing the magic that made the original famous. The newest Python keeps that iconic stainless steel profile, but now uses a stronger revised frame with reinforced sections around the top strap and rear sight, giving it the durability to handle steady 357 Magnum use without the concerns older models sometimes faced. Its overall length lands around 9.5 to 11.5 inches, depending on whether you choose the 4.25-inch or 6-inch barrel. And the weight stays close to 42 ounces, creating a revolver that settles smoothly in the hand and tracks naturally between shots. Colt redesigned the internal mechanism for a cleaner, more consistent trigger pull, preserving the buttery double-action feel while making it more reliable under heavy use. The full underlug adds forward mass that reduces muzzle rise. The ventilated rib keeps the classic Python identity alive, and the upgraded adjustable sights make precise shooting easier in modern lighting conditions. Walnut target grips offer a firm, elegant hold, and the gun's balance feels surprisingly neutral for something this robust. Real-world pricing in 2025 typically hovers between about $1,400 to $1,700, depending on finish and barrel length, which still makes it a premium revolver, but far more attainable than vintage models that often cost several times that amount. The modern Python isn't just a nostalgic reproduction. It's a purpose-built shooter that blends craftsmanship, strength, and heritage into a revolver that finally lives up to the myth while being ready for real range work. The Walther PPK has always blended elegance with everyday practicality, and its modern return reinforces why this little steel pistol became an icon in the first place. The newest US-made PPK stays true to its all-steel construction, offered in stainless or a deep black finish, and its fixed-barrel blowback design delivers surprisingly tight accuracy from its compact 3.3-inch barrel. Overall length lands around 6.1 inches with a height close to 3.8 inches, and depending on the variant, it weighs roughly 19 to 23 ounces, giving it a reassuring heft that tames recoil better than most pocket-sized carry guns. The double-action pull remains long and deliberate. The single-action brake is crisp and predictable, and the slide-mounted safety/decocker keeps the manual of arms consistent with the classic pattern. Capacity stays at 6 or 7 rounds of 380 ACP, depending on magazine choice. And the slim frame still fits the hand with a level of comfort newer micro pistols often struggle to match. Walther refined machining, updated the internals for smoother cycling and improved reliability, and gave the pistol a finished quality that feels more like a crafted piece of metalwork than a mass-produced backup gun. Real-world pricing in 2025 typically ranges from about $850 to $1,000, depending on finish and availability, placing in premium pocket pistol territory, but still far more attainable than the collector-only era it once lived in. The PPK doesn't chase modern trends or compete with high-capacity micro 9mm pistols. Instead, it leans confidently into its timeless design, offering a durable, accurate, and undeniably stylish sidearm that remains in a lane entirely its own. The Glock 21 SF and Glock 20 have found their way back into the spotlight after quietly sitting in the background while the industry chased ever smaller carry guns and high-capacity micro 9mm pistols, and their resurgence makes perfect sense once you actually spend time with them. The 21 SF was my re-entry point because I wanted a 45 ACP pistol that didn't feel like a steel brick, and Glock nailed that balance with a polymer frame that trims unnecessary bulk while keeping the grip short enough for medium-sized hands to control comfortably. With its 4.6 1-inch barrel, roughly 8.07-inch overall length, and familiar safe-action trigger system, the 21SF delivers a softer recoil pulse than its caliber suggests, and its 13-round magazine gives you big-bore capability without sacrificing practicality. Mine has run everything from bargain bin ball ammo to hot plus P defensive loads without a single complaint, which is exactly what most people expect from Glock. The Glock 20 takes the same formula and cranks up the energy with full power 10mm, offering 15+1 rounds in a platform that's surprisingly easy to manage thanks to its heavier slide and dual spring recoil system. That extra mass absorbs the snap of 10mm beautifully, making it a favorite among hunters, backpackers, and anyone who wants a semi-auto capable of handling black bear-level threats without moving to a massive revolver. Both pistols share the same rugged polymer frame design, corrosion-resistant finish, and famously low-maintenance internals, and both represent Glock at its simplest. Big cartridges, big performance, and zero drama. Current 2025 pricing usually places the 21SF and 20 in the $600 to $700 range, depending on configuration, which keeps them squarely in the working gun category rather than collector territory. They were never flashy, trendy, or chasing the micro-carry crowd. They were built for shooters who want straightforward reliability and real stopping power. And now that people are rediscovering that formula, these two heavy hitters are finally getting the recognition they've always earned. The Browning High Power has a way of winning over almost anyone who wraps their hand around its slim steel frame, because the blend of natural pointability, clean single-action trigger, and gently rounded contours creates a shooting rhythm that feels instinctive from the very first magazine. When FN discontinued the original design, it left a huge hole in the market, and for years shooters were forced to hunt down used examples or gamble on overseas clones that rarely captured the feel of a true high power. That finally changed when Springfield Armory launched the SA35, a modernized interpretation built on the same forged steel frame and 4.7-inch barrel length, but refined in all the right places. Springfield removed the magazine disconnect to unlock a much better trigger, reshaped the hammer to eliminate the notorious hammer bite, upgraded the white dot sights for real daylight usability, and kept the walnut grips and matte blue finish, so the pistol still looks like it stepped straight out of the classic era. Capacity now jumps to 15 rounds, a meaningful improvement that preserves the high power's role as one of the earliest high-capacity service pistols. I bought mine at about $700, which still feels like a steal considering today's real-world prices often fall in the mid-600s to mid-700s depending on finish. FN later brought back their own redesign under the name FN High Power, adding ambidextrous controls, a redesigned frame with deeper contours, a 4.7-inch cold hammer forged barrel, and 17-round magazines that give the pistol modern defensive credibility while still paying tribute to the original lines. Street pricing for FN's model typically runs between $1,100 and $1,300, reflecting its premium build and machining quality. What makes this whole revival so satisfying is that both versions still shoot with that unmistakable high-power flow, delivering smooth recoil, effortless transitions, and a short, tactile reset that reminds you why steel-frame single-action pistols remain relevant even in a world dominated by polymer striker-fired guns. The Smith & Wesson Model 19 carries a weight far heavier than its steel frame because this was the revolver that countless American police officers trusted through the 60s and 70s, and its K-frame size became legendary for delivering full 357 Magnum performance, without the bulk of the larger in-frame guns. The modern return of the Model 19 brings that heritage forward with thoughtful engineering rather than nostalgia alone. Offered in both 4.25-inch and 2.75-inch barrel lengths, the new versions maintain the deep polished blue finish and checkered walnut grips that instantly transport you back to the golden age of service revolvers. Yet the updates beneath the surface transform the gun into a genuinely improved shooter. The two-piece barrel system enhances alignment and practical accuracy. The revised yoke and crane assembly lock up smoothly, and the action feels cleaner than many well-worn originals. Overall length lands around 9.5 inches for the 4.25-inch model and roughly 8 inches for the shorter version, with weights falling close to 39 and 37 ounces respectively, striking a balance that makes both options easy to control under full power 357 loads. The 6-shot cylinder still digests 38 Special and 357 Magnum with the same agreeable shooting manners that made the Model 19 famous. And the pinned front sight paired with a fully adjustable rear sight keeps the revolver ready for real practical use rather than serving as a display piece. Street prices in 2025 commonly sit between $950 and $1,100 depending on finish and availability, which aligns closely with current Model 19 Classic numbers and feels justified given the blend of nostalgia, mechanical refinement, and durability you get for the money. What stands out most is that this is not a novelty reissue or a collector's prop. It is a capable, balanced, precision-minded wheel gun built for shooters who still value the art of running a revolver well. The Marlin 1895 came dangerously close to disappearing when Remington collapsed, leaving lever gun fans convinced that one of America's most iconic rifle lines might never return. When Ruger stepped in, they rebuilt the entire manufacturing process from the ground up, and the transformation showed immediately in the revived 1895 SBL, now chambered in the timeless 4570 Government. The new rifle carries a stainless steel receiver with crisp machining, a 19-inch cold hammer forged barrel for improved consistency, and a 6+1 tubular magazine that gives the platform real working capability in the field. Overall length sits around 37 inches with a weight close to 7.5 pounds, striking that classic lever gun balance between portability and recoil control. Ruger tightened tolerances throughout the action, which gives the rifle a noticeably smoother cycle than many earlier production runs, and the oversized loop lever pairs perfectly with the gray laminated stock to create a rugged, instantly recognizable profile. The factory-installed Picatinny rail and ghost ring rear sight make the SBL optics ready without modification, and the threaded muzzle gives shooters the option to run brakes or suppressors, something traditional lever guns rarely accommodated. Fit and finish feel like a true return of form, with clean lines, sharp inletting, and a level of precision that shows Ruger was determined not just to preserve the Marlin name, but elevate it. Current real-world pricing in 2025 typically falls between $1,300 and $1,500 depending on availability, and the rifles still sell as fast as they hit shelves because they capture everything people love about American lever actions while delivering the reliability and accuracy expected from modern manufacturing. The 1895 SBL is not just a comeback story. It is proof that a classic design can survive, evolve, and thrive when placed in the right hands. The HK SP5 is the gun shooters spent decades hoping would finally appear, because anyone who grew up watching action movies dreamed of owning a true MP5, yet had to settle for clones and close enough imports that never fully captured the original feel. When Heckler & Koch released the SP5 built on genuine German tooling, it instantly became the definitive civilian version of the iconic roller-delayed subgun. The pistol uses the classic delayed blowback system that gives the MP5 its unmistakably smooth recoil pulse and features an 8.86-inch cold hammer forged barrel with a tri-lug muzzle that lets shooters mount suppressors, brakes, and flash hiders with the same effortless compatibility as the real deal. Overall length lands around 17.8 inches, and the weight sits just under 6 pounds. Heavier than most 9mm pistols, but absolutely perfect for taming recoil and keeping the muzzle locked in place through rapid fire. The SP5 retains the fluted chamber design for enhanced extraction, the signature polymer handguard, and the remarkably clean welds that make the gun feel exactly like the MP5S seen in military and law enforcement service around the world. It ships with two 30-round magazines and a bungee sling that attaches to the rear sling point, giving the pistol the same shoulder indexing and stability that MP5 users have relied on for decades. On the range, the SP5 delivers some of the softest shooting you will ever experience from a pistol format firearm. Magazine dumps stay flat, transitions feel effortless, and the gun cycles with that unmistakable HK confidence that has defined the platform for generations. Current 2025 pricing sees MSRP in the upper $2,000 range, with most new examples selling right around $3,000 depending on availability, making it a premium purchase, but one that finally grants shooters the authentic MP5 experience without compromise. The M1 Carbine closes out this list because it represents a piece of American rifle design that never should have faded away, a lightweight and fast-handling carbine that still fills a niche few modern platforms manage to replicate. Auto Ordnance's revival of the pattern was a huge win for shooters who wanted something more than worn-out surplus rifles with inflated collector prices, and their modern production model stays remarkably faithful to the World War II configuration. Weighing about 5.4 pounds with an 18-inch barrel and a walnut stock shape to the original profile, the rifle feels authentic without appearing artificially weathered. Its short-stroke gas piston system cycles 30 carbine with a smooth, almost effortless impulse, keeping the rifle steady and fast in the hands just as the original designers intended. The 15-round magazine maintains the carbine's famous quick-handling personality, and the flip-style rear sight, though simple, offer speedy target acquisition that suits the rifle's natural pointability. The single-stage trigger breaks with a deliberate, predictable feel that matches the rhythmic shooting style the M1 Carbine is known for, and the overall length of just under 36 inches makes the rifle extremely maneuverable in brush, vehicles, or tight interior environments. On the range, it remains one of the most enjoyable rifles to run, offering a blend of nostalgia, controllability, and pure shooting fun that modern lightweight carbines often struggle to match. As of 2025, pricing typically lands in the low $1,200 bracket, depending on finish and availability, a reasonable cost for a newly manufactured rifle that preserves so much of the original spirit while giving shooters the reliability and build quality expected from fresh production. The Auto Ordnance M1 Carbine proves that some designs earn their longevity not through hype, but through the way they simply feel right every time you shoulder them. Thanks for sticking with me through this lineup of revived classics, and I hope it gave you a fresh look at how these legendary firearms found their way back into the modern spotlight. It's always exciting seeing old designs return with new life, proving that great ideas never really disappear. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives like it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment telling me which comeback surprised you the most. Your support keeps the channel moving forward, and I'll see you in the next video.